And as you inhale and exhale here, give yourself permission to disengage from anything that's going on right now outside this practice, and give yourself the space to simply connect with your breath. Finding your own inner peace. Bringing your hands to Anjali Mudra at the heart center. And as you inhale, sweep the arms down and up. Exhaling back to the heart center. Go 2 more times. Inhale up. And exhale back. And once more. Inhale. And exhale. And then go ahead and bring your hands to the belly here and lengthen. And we're going to go into a twisting flow. So just twisting to your right from the navel to the top of the collarbone and back through center, and then twisting to the left and back to center. And we're just going to keep going like this from side to side. You just want to feel the strength of the muscle wiring up and the coordination of the body moving from side to side. And then go ahead and come back to the center and bring your arms out to the side as you inhale, lift and lengthen here, and then exhale, twisting over to the right. Just float the arms down. Notice that shoulder alignment. Inhale the arms up, back through center, over to the left, and exhale the arms down. So flowing through this, inhale through center, exhale to the right. Inhale through center, and exhale to the left. Last time over here to the left. And then come back to the center. Inhale, lift up, and then lift your face up towards the sky. Lengthen the front and the back of the neck, drawing the shoulder blades down towards the floor. And as you exhale, open the arms, open the heart center. Bring your hands down. And then go ahead and inhale this right arm up and over, and exhale back. And the other side, inhale up and over, and exhale back. So as you come from side to side, you want to lengthen the side bodies. So even though this right side contracts a little bit, you still want to think about long and lengthen rather than contracting that side. The next time the right arm comes up and over, we're just going to stay here and breathe. So bend that left elbow as much as you need to. Release the right shoulder down. Make sure your head and neck are in line with the spine. So don't let the head drop like this. You want the whole spine to be long. And on your next inhale, engage the belly. Come back to center. And we're just going to go straight over to the other side. Lengthening both side bodies, dropping the left shoulder. Make sure that the head and neck are in alignment with the rest of the spine, and breathe here. And on your next inhale, go ahead and lift up. Sitting up nice and tall. Just roll those shoulders forward and up and down the back. Forward and up and down the back. And one more time, forward and up and down the back. And then I just want to take a few moments to stretch into the head and neck a little bit. So lengthen and just bring this right ear over towards the right side. Again, make sure you're lifting up and over as if you have like maybe an orange or something right here, and you're lifting up and over that orange or over that ball, lengthening both sides of the neck and breathing here. And then slowly lift your head back up. Anytime you're working into a place where we carry a lot of tension, you want to take your time and then lengthen and then release the left ear towards the left shoulder, lengthening both sides of the neck and breathing here. And on your next inhale, go ahead and lift back up to neutral. And again, bringing the arms down. Inhale, lift up, look up. And exhale back down. And then make your way onto your hands and knees and tabletop. If you need to pad up your knees with a beach towel or a blanket or a bolster, do that. And bring the wrists under the shoulders, lengthen the spine. We're going to start with cat-cow. So inhale, engage the root lock, the pit of the belly, round forward, coming into your cat. And then lift the tailbone, sink the belly, open the heart center, coming into your cow. So just keep going like that. Inhaling cat and exhaling cow. And then the next time you come into the cat stretch, just move in some gentle holographic way. Come back to tabletop, flatten the feet, and just sit back in child's pose and stretch your arms out forward. Just take a few breaths here. And you can gently shift your weight from shin to shin, from left to right, getting that lateral motion into the knees and hips. And then bring that to a close and hinge forward. See if you can tuck your toes under, press the heels behind you and come into a plank. And then lift up and hinge back into a downward dog. And in your dog, tip the pelvis, lift the sit bones, let your heels come up as much as they need to. Press the knees towards the wall behind you, and then bend the knees and bring your shoulders over the wrists. The knees come down to the mat and flatten the feet and come to child's pose. Now, hinge back up to tabletop. And when you tuck, if you have your hands in front of your shoulders just a little bit, so if I had my hands right under my shoulders, they'd be here. And I have maybe one palm's length forward of my shoulders. Then when you lift your knees, push the heels towards the wall behind you, press your shoulders down and lengthen to get that plank. And then hinge up through the hips and press through the hands, hinging through the shoulders, hinging through the hips. Imagine when you're building a house of cards, how you stack two cards against each other and they hold each other up. That's what you're doing with your body. You're using the tensegrity of your anatomy to hold you in downward dog. And then bend the knees. Bring your shoulders over the wrist, come down to table, flatten the feet, come to child's pose, stay here. And one more time like that. Hinging forward, bringing the shoulders over the wrist, tuck the toes, press the heels behind you, straighten the knees, nice strong plank. The belly is taut. Then lift up, hinge through the shoulders. You push into those hands. Coming into down dog and breathing here. And then bend the knees, roll through the balls of the feet, shoulders come over the wrists, and then come back to child's pose. So we'll stay here for a few breaths. Really hinge forward. The sits bones will roll back. And you can relax your arms. And then go ahead and draw your hands back under your shoulders and press yourself up. And bring your right leg forward like this. And if you have yoga blocks, get your 2 yoga blocks and bring them on either side of that right foot. And the reason I like to use blocks instead of the floor is you can keep this upper back flat and straight like this as we go through this. Whereas if you're down here, that upper back is going to round forward a little bit. So it's just a matter of how you're using your muscles. The other thing is make sure that your left knee is behind that hip a little bit. So if you're way up here, you really don't have much room to move. So you want that left knee back a little bit, lengthen the spine, and then you're just going to press both hips forward, stretching into the left hip flexor, and then flex this right foot and hinge back. So that's what we're going to do, hinging forward and hinging back. And it is okay if your range of motion here is tiny, or if your hamstrings are tight and you can't get this right knee all the way straight, that's perfectly okay. What's important about the yoga practice is that you feel the stretch in your body. You feel the tissue opening up and becoming more fluid in order to open up blocked channels, blocked chronic channels. One more time forward and back. And then the next time you come forward, press into the 4 corners of the right foot, look straight ahead, lengthen the spine, engage the belly, and float those arms up. And then float the arms down and hinge back and hinge forward. And again, floating the arms up and floating them down, hinging back, keep going, and hinging forward. And one last time, coming forward here, inhale up, exhale down, bring your hips back, bring this right leg back, and switch up sides, bringing the left leg forward. And again, you might have to walk this right knee back a little bit, and you want to make sure your ankle is in front of the left knee, and then go ahead and hinge the hips forward, upper back is straight and strong, and hinging back. Flowing through this. And when you're in your yoga practice, try to be in your body without judgment or expectation. So you do want to notice how it feels. Acknowledge any sensation that comes up as you're moving through the poses, but without judgment and without expectation. And then the next time you hinge forward, stay here, press into the four corners of both feet, engage the pit of the belly and lift the arms up. And then release the arms down, hinge back. And hinge forward. Inhale the arms up. Exhale the arms down, hinging back. And hinging forward. And last time here, inhale up. Exhale down. Bring your hips back, bring your left leg back. And go ahead and move the blocks out of the way and slowly make your way up to standing. So once you're here, stand up nice and tall. Move things a little bit here so I'm in a better frame. Standing up nice and tall here. In mountain pose. So your feet are hip distance apart. Your hips are over your knees. Your knees are under. Your hips over your knees. Your shoulders are over your hips, and your ears are over your shoulders. And you're standing nice and tall. So bring your hands to Anjali Mudra. And go ahead and inhale, sweep the arms down and up. And as you lift your arms up, go ahead and lift your face. And then exhale, bring the hands down the midline. And we're just going to do this a few times. Inhale, lift up, look up. Exhale, down the midline. And one more time. Just getting that heart center opening here. And then just bring your hands to the fronts of the legs, bend the knees, and slide down and up, hinging at the hips, tipping the pelvis towards the thighs. So this is a forward fold in the style of Vinyasa Yoga. And we're just gently warming up those hamstring muscles like this. And then come back up to standing. Bring your hands low on your hips here. And again, we're going to hinge. This time, keep your knees straight. Hinge forward, engage the root lock, the pit of the belly here. And lifting back up. So now we're getting into the hamstrings behind the knees and where they attach to the sits bones. You're using your abdominal muscles to support the back as you hinge forward and as you lift back up. And as we go in and out of this, you can gently look for your edges. So you just want to find that first edge. You don't want to push hard past the limitations your body is setting for you. And know that if you had a stressful week, go one more time. And come back up to standing and just stand in mountain pose and just notice how you feel energetically, because if you had a really stressful week, that stress, according to yoga theory, accumulates in the tissue. And as we move and stretch our tissue mindfully without judgment and expectation, that stress releases so you don't hold it in your body. Because holding that stress in your body is not helpful for any reason. It doesn't help. It just doesn't help. And we want to stay healthy in our body so that we can do the work that we were put on this earth to do, whatever that might be for you. We want to approach that strongly. So bring your hands to the heart center. And, you know, sometimes the yoga becomes a metaphor for other sorts of ways to be in the world. Go ahead and inhale, bring the arms down and up. And this time, exhale and bring the arms out to the side. Rotate the palms towards the wall behind you. Bring the palms towards each other. Come to that half forward fold. And then inhale, come back up. Bring the arms up overhead. And exhale, the hands down the midline. Inhale, up. Exhale, that half forward fold. Inhale, up. And exhale, keep going like this. And you might notice your hamstrings get a little more stretchy. And what we want to do is build up the support of the muscles so that there's a balance in the body. So it's really a myth that yoga is all about being real stretchy and limber. It's actually about being in balance in the body. Go one more time, just like that. And then bring your hands down the midline. So we're going to just do 3 full forward folds. So the difference between a half forward fold, this is a half forward fold. This is always a half forward fold. You're just tipping the pelvis no matter how low you go. And what makes it a full forward fold is when you release like that. And then there's the half forward fold and come back up. So we're going to flow through a full forward fold going through the half forward fold. So bring your hands to the heart. Inhale, sweep the arms up. So exhale and hinge forward. The arms stay in a T position. Bring your pelvis towards the thighs and then release the hands down towards the mat. Release the head and the spine and then come back to that half forward fold. Strong here and then lift up. And bring the arms down the midline. We're just going to do that 2 more times. Inhale up. Exhale, come through your half forward fold and release, sweeping the hands down towards the mat, coming back up through half forward fold all the way up. Hands down the midline. And one more time. Inhale. Exhale. Releasing forward. Inhale, back up. And exhale down the midline, bringing the hands to the side. Breathe. Now, go ahead and face the short end of your mat. And so wherever you have your device where you can see me, it might be in the front of your mat. This way I'm just sideways because I think you can see me better that way. And bring your right foot forward and your left foot back in a warrior 1 stance. Take that little tiny, you're on a little narrow train track, not on a tightrope like that with your feet, but on a track. And your ankles are in line with the tops of the iliac crest. And we're just gonna come in and out of warrior 1. So bending the right knee, bringing the arms up and back. We're going to do that 2 more times. This is inhale and exhale. Once more here. Now, the next time you bend the right knee, stay here. Press into the feet. Now, look straight ahead. Take a few breaths here. And then we're going to lift our face up if you want to. So if this is enough balance for you, stay here. But if you want a little more, find a vertical line on the wall and just trace it all the way up. Find a spot on the ceiling. You're looking up and you're breathing here. Make sure you're anchored to the earth from the navel through the feet. And then if you've lifted your head up, bring it back to neutral. Lower the arms, hinge forward and step forward. And just rock back and forth. And then we're going to go to the other side. So bringing your left foot forward and your right foot back, pressing into the four corners, lengthening the spine, and coming in and out of Warrior One 3 times. Inhale and exhale. One more time. In and out of the pose. And then the next time, stay here, take a few breaths. And then find that vertical line up the wall, across the ceiling, lifting your face, dropping the shoulders, pressing into the feet, engaging the root block in the pit of the belly. Breathing here. And bringing your head back to neutral, floating the arms down, hinging forward and stepping forward. And rocking side to side. And then turning back to the so that your right foot is forward and your left foot is back. But this time, take a little, instead of taking a long stance, a long Warrior One, take a shorter stance. And we're going to start by just bending both knees and bringing your weight onto the right foot and just coming onto the ball of the left, bending the knees, and you can flex this right foot up if you want. Bending the knees, coming onto the right foot, coming up on the ball of the left back here and back. And we're just going to rock back and forth like this a few times. Try to make this fluid and smooth. And the transition is the hard part. The transition is where you set yourself up for the rest of the pose, for the static pose. Now, the next time you come forward, just lift the left toe. You can just bring your arms out to the side and come back. And if you like this little hand thing, you can just do something creative and wavy with the hands. Lifting the left foot and coming back. Now, if when you lift that left foot, it wants to wander out to the side like this and throw you off balance, it's because you're not wired up in Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. So lift up on the root block, draw the navel in, and then release back. And as you come forward, engage the root block, the pit of the belly, and lift. And release as you come back. And the next time you come forward, let's just see, can I hold this for a few breaths? Lift that left foot, reach through the heel, engage the bandhas, breathe, and come back down. And then just bring your feet together and bend the knees and slide down and up 3 times, hinging at the hips. And then go ahead and bring the left foot forward and the right foot back. Again, that little tiny Warrior One, and we'll do it on this side. Just start by bending the knees, bringing your weight onto the left foot, and just roll up on the ball of the right. And then coming back, you can flex the left toes up towards the head. So just coming forward, and back. And the more you can relax into this. So by relax, what I mean is you only use the muscles that are required to support you in this. So notice if you're clenching your jaw or you're building tension in the neck and shoulders. And see if you can just relax that and get the body to only use energy where there's going to be a payoff for that. Now, the next time you come forward, see if you can lift that right toe and rocking back. So we're just gradually building. You can bring some creative movement into the arms if that's fun for you. Engage the root lock, the pit of the belly, and release back. And the next time you come forward, you're just going to hold that right leg, engage the bandhas, and breathe here. Reach through the heel, reach through the head, draw the navel in so this is strong and supportive. And when you're ready, come on out of it and just rock from side to side. Bring your feet right underneath your hips. And this time, bring your hands to the heart center. And inhale, bring the arms up. And as you exhale, draw the hands down the middle. I'm coming into Utkatasana. And then inhale, press back up. And exhale out to the heart center. We'll do this 2 more times. Inhale up. Exhale, draw the hands, bend the knees. Powerful pose. Inhale, press back up. And exhale to the heart center. And last time, inhale. And exhale. Inhale up. And exhale. And take a few breaths here. So now, come back to your warrior one position with your right foot forward and your left foot back and in a fairly narrow stance. And all we're going to do is glide into that warrior three. This time we're going to have our hands up overhead and we're going to see if we can tip forward into Virabhadrasana 3, warrior three. So bend the knees, bring your weight onto your right foot, bring the arms up overhead, engage the bandhas. Lift that left leg and then see if you have the balance to hinge forward into your warrior three and breathe, breathe, breathe here. And when you're ready, bend the knees, come out of it. If you want to hold it a little longer, do that. And then we're just going to change up sides. So bring your left foot forward, your right foot back. Pressing into the 4 corners, bending the knees, bring your weight onto the left foot, engage the root lock, the pit of the belly, lift that right leg, hinge forward, lengthen out. You got to be strong here. Breathe. And when you're ready, bend that left knee and just come out of it. And rock from side to side. Go ahead and bring your feet hip distance apart, bend the knees, slide down and up 3 times. Really keep the spine long here. We're trying to just decompress that low back a little bit. And then we're going to take that warrior three one more time each side. So with your right foot forward, your left foot back. So I like this bending the knees, getting the arms up, bringing the weight over the right, reaching through the left, and then hinging forward. Find a focal point, breathe here. When you're ready, bend the right knee and come down. And then we'll go right to the other side, left foot forward, right foot back. Take a few breaths. So feel the connection, the earth connection here. Bend both knees, bring your weight over to the left foot, engage the bundles and lift the right. Once you're here, see if you can teeter-totter forward, breathing into the belly. And when you're ready, bend the knees, come out of it, and come up to standing. And just rock back and forth a little bit here. And then stand with your feet about shoulder distance apart. Bring your arms down to the side here. And inhale and float this right arm up, rotating the palm of the hand towards the head. And then exhale down. And the same on the left side. Inhale and exhale. So we are just flowing through this. And do this as a pranayama practice. So slow, deep, smooth inhale. See if you can slow the breath down so that it takes all this time to inhale and all this time to exhale. One more like that here. And then this time, bring the right arm up and stack shoulder on top of shoulder, hinging over, lengthening through the left side here, and back to center. And the same thing, left arm up and over, and back to center. The breath is more important than the movement. Go one more time each side. And then bring that to a close. Bring your feet in just a little bit. Bring your arms to Anjali Mudra. And just one time, inhale, lift up, look up. And exhale, the hands down the midline. And then make your way down onto your back. Go ahead and tuck your knees into your chest. And we're going to do Shavasana in just a second. So if you want a bolster or a blanket underneath your legs, go ahead and get that. So it's nearby, but just hug the knees in and rock from side to side here, massaging the low back into the earth. And then bring this rocking to a close. Exhale, hug the knees and lift your head and shoulders, curling into a bowl, activating the belly muscles. We're just trying to decompress the low back a little bit. And then release back down. And then if you have a blanket or bolster, just put that right under, you want it under your thighs. And then lower one foot and then the other. And then release your legs down. Roll the palms up towards the ceiling and drop into your breath for Shavasana. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose.